Hello everyone and welcome to Stirling Sim Racing. My name is Noah Walter and you join me live here for the Rockin Hawkins Schultz 100 here at Daytona International Raceway. We have currently completed qualifying and we're running in our warm-up right now before our main 100-mile feature race. It's going to be 40 laps here at the historic Daytona International Speedway. I'm excited to get ready to go, so let's go and join in and see just how the action is unfolding right now in warm-up. Alright, as you can see here, we are following along with Bill Shermatz right now as we go down the backstretch here at Daytona. About 2.5 minutes left of warm-up right now before they go into grid. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. Currently, the first one to complete a lap is going to be Les Bentz here in the number 67 Pepsi Chevrolet. Bit interesting seeing a warm-up here in Stirling Sim Racing. We don't usually get that unless we're doing heat racing, such as at dirt track racing. Last race we were able to broadcast was over at Bristol, Dirt Bristol that is. That was a good old time. You can go and watch the replay of that here on twitch.tv/4cloak to catch up on all the Stirling Sim action you missed so far. As we continue to run here at Daytona, we're making sure we get some laps. So let's go and bring up our drivers and see how they are doing. Ben's still the only one to complete a lap as of now. Currently getting laps in at Daytona, it's one of those things where you really have to make up your mind. Is it worth it or is it not? It is pack racing, it's super speedway, you're always together. So running laps doesn't always make the world's biggest difference, but sometimes it really is that difference for some people, especially if you just don't know. So if you have like doubts, it can really be a useful experience for some of these guys. And I'm sure that some of our names that we haven't seen here too often before will definitely appreciate that warm-up time, just to make sure they can definitely drive around and make sure they have a better feel for the racetrack. The 6-year Stuart Wright being one of them. I don't think we've seen Stuart here before, so it's good to see him out on track, and he should be getting some more time in as we go forward, practicing those ever-important pit stops, for one example. Here's Brad Whiteman. Last time we saw him was a while back, actually, now that I think about it. Good to see a lot more of the Whiteman clan out here tonight, which is great. Nicholas Erlin currently leading now ahead of Les Bentz here in warm-up, about a minute left. Let's see that 40 Chevrolet top of the field. Won't be too much longer till we go through our qualifying grid order. Get on with our nice long show. Got to give a big thank you to Rockin Hawkins Schultz, who brought us this week's event. Thank you very much. Follow along there with the 00 of John Shermatz there in the Ford F-150 in the Mets. Thank you very much for the subscription, Jacob. Good to see you back for 6 months now. Man, the time just goes by. How long have we been streaming now? A bit over a year now, right? Goodness. Good to see you, though, Jacob. It's definitely been a little bit. All right, with that, we have now completed warm-up. It'll be just a moment before we head into the field so we can see our qualifying order. I know that this is going to be quite the event here tonight with Stirling Sim Racing. Let's go ahead and head on in and see what our grid is looking like. All right, let's go and bring that out of there. Starting on pole position, it is going to be Kevin Bruner there, you can see. Uh-oh. There we go. Kevin Bruner there with Kenneth Passmore alongside the two Ks up there. Going to be fighting on row number 1 to see who is going to be leading this field from the start. Row number 2 is going to be Les Bentz and Christopher Standridge in the 67 and the 22. Row number 3 is going to go to Kenneth Moyer and John Bennett. Going to be starting in 5th and 6th place. 7th and 8th is going to go to Brad Whiteman and Scott Case. As you can see there, the 92 and the 8. We're going to look back at our field just a little bit so you can see these guys here. Row number 5 is going to go to Nicholas Erland and John Shermatz. Behind them is going to be Scott Whiteman and Bill Shermatz. these guys are going to have to duke it out to see who can follow along with their teammate, family partner. Row number 7 for 13th and 14th is going to go to Jason Coffey and Clinton Chambers. Clinton, it's been a while since we have seen him racing with us once again there in that green 58, but it's good to see him back once again regardless. Row number 8 is going to go to Jason Shermatz and Gene Watkinson. Another duo we, well, I say Jason, it's been a bit since we've seen, but Gene, another newcomer there, as we can see in the 111, just right up there. Finally, row number 9 is going to be going to Jeffrey Whiteman and Kenneth Passmore, apparently. Looks like a bit off there. Stuart Wright there is going to be bringing up the rear of the field with Jeffrey. All right, we got a nice field of cars with us here tonight at Daytona, 100 miles, as I did say. Once again, got to give a big thank you to Rockin, Hawkins, Schultz bringing us this week's race. And with that, the iRacing.com pace car pulls off to head down pit road here at historic Daytona International Raceway, and it looks like we're going to be green flag here at Daytona. Leave the tri-oval there now as we see your pack heading into turn number 1. 68 of Kevin Bruner is going to be leading the field with Kenneth Passmore going to be running in second position. You see Standridge there on that outside lane trying to form it up. Maybe he can get the 20. Yep, we're seeing the 20 of John Bennett there up on the outside, hoping to make something happen. Though that 8 there, Scott Case is going to get a huge run. Same with the 40 of Nicholas Erland if they can catch up fast enough. Bit of a side drafting we're seeing out of these two towards the front as they're going to be battling side by side into turn number 3. Through 3, now 4 they go. We can see the Winston number 22 Chevrolet struggling a little bit to keep a line. That's going to make things difficult for the 20 behind. I expect a potential wreck hazard there between those guys. He's going to make things that much more difficult between the two as we cross our line to complete the first 2.5 miles here at Daytona. That means 22 of Standridge is going to be leading this event. As we can see, Kevin Bruner has now fallen back down into third as he has to now fight on the outside trying to get by. John Bennett there helping Standridge a lot. The 22 and the 2 looks to be the big drafting partner as of right now. Kenneth Passmore there in the 13 as we can see that light blue Toyota Tundra. Not many Toyotas out in this field. He's going to be one of the very few out there. He does not have a manufacturer helper tonight. Not going to be making his life any... Oh, he does. He does have one. Look at that. Still only one manufacturing partner tonight is not going to be very good for their case, especially because before the racer, I was talking to the person that hosts all this stuff, Scott Whiteman. He told me that you're going to have to pit at least twice in this event. That is going to be making this that much more difficult because these guys are going to have to do their pit road battles. Going to be making it... very competitive going down pit road. Potentially losing spots by overshooting pit boxes, speeding penalties. Oh man, it can be a lot going on at pit road here tonight at Daytona. Standridge continues to lead here. As Les Benz now starts cutting their way through the field there in the 67. We're going to get a little bit closer look soon as they race by the camera once again. Entire pack now going on by. We'll head back towards the field just a little bit and start going up from the rear. Currently, the number 63 of Jeffrey Whiteman is currently running second to last. Only Gene Watkinson behind him. He's trying to hold off and stay away from the pack. Maybe get himself some nice runs up later on, but take his time. Interesting strategy to play because sometimes it really works out at places like Daytona where it could just be a lot trying to be with the entire pack, especially when they're all over the place. Heading up a little bit more, we see John Sherman's there in the New York Mets, number 00. Still getting on the outside lane, drafting behind the 77 of Jason Sherman. Sterling Sim Racing, I would say almost legend there, the number 58 of Clinton Chambers. You can see there in the green Silverado there, white and green, I should say. Also trying to work his way through the field. Hopping back up towards the front, though, looks like they're definitely having some battles for position now. As the Standridge has been able to lead However, we have seen Bruner really start to push on that outside lane, getting a lot of help from behind. However, it is not working out perfectly in their favor because they have a lot of action to get through and have to keep a very consistent battle of the line. Heading down the backstretch, we can see here at Daytona that just a little bit of slight bangage before they hit. That is the wall, turn number 3. At 67, less bends there at the Pepsi machine, you can see there on that bottom lane. Got a little bit of breathing room around them, which is going to be helping a lot, especially with Scott Case on the outside in the 8. Potentially even maybe looking to make it 3 wide with some of these guys there, the way that they're leaving a lot of space in between some of the parts. You can see there the 71 there of Bill Shermat's the only other Toyota that will be helping. I believe it's yes, the 13 of Kenneth Passmore. As you can see, your entire field starts really getting broken up there. Standridge just does not have the pace there as we see Bruner really starting to fly. However, that outside lane there, 40 of Nicholas Erland leading it, getting a decent push there from the 8 of Scott Case now as they are going to be going out of turn at number 4 into the tri-oval once again. Very evenly matched these guys have been so far. We've been able to just stay in their lines together. So they're 3 wide towards the back. Clinton Chambers on the outside as they're going to be passing the number 6. That is Stuart Wright. Very risky maneuver to pass, especially here on iRacing where the net code can be pretty aggressive, especially on tracks like Daytona and when you have a decent amount of distance between yourself and the servers. I know some of these guys are not all from the States, which will be making that just a little bit more difficult. However, they've been able to hold it together pretty well so far. As soon as I say that, though, number 20 bumps into the 22 of Standridge. It looks like he's struggling for pace just a little bit. Uh-oh. Looks like we're having a bit of connection issues. As I said, one of these guys there. Now, as we're going to be going out of turn number 4, Kevin Bruner has the lead once again. He's going to have to fight with Nicholas Erland, though, to see who's going to get it across the line. That's the thing, is you just never know who's going to get it and where. Especially at a track like Daytona, those outside runs can be absolutely insane. However, the bottom lane is just that little bit faster. It's a little bit smoother, which helps as this is the older scan of Daytona. However, this has been updated recently. I believe it's the 2021 update, which we got for the Daytona 24 with that patch that removes the sausage curb after the Daytona 24. Very useful, whatever. As we go through 3 and 4 now, you see that 68 really has been able to create a massive gap between himself and the 22 Standridge behind. I'm surprised that it's been able to last for so long. Because usually at this point you'd be able to close up that gap absolutely. However, I wonder if he's having potentially some throttle issues. Good time, though, for the number 40 of Erland to pull down and potentially just move his way right along. Because right now he's getting some increased fuel burn by running that outside lane pretty so far separated from everybody else. And at a track where you have to do currently 2 fuel stops, that is not going to be helping anyone's case now. Scott Case now up into 3rd position in the number 8 Chevrolet. It's either that green one, the Copenhagen. On the move, Standridge once again falling back just a little bit now down into 4th. Keep in mind he was leading this race earlier on. Bill Shermat's also on the move, headed forward there in the 71. You can see his truck a little bit more distinctively there with the tan Toyota. Speaking a bit more of distinctive trucks, we can see that bright yellow one we got there. I believe that's the 07, yes, of Jason Coffey there. We see the yellow F-150. He's got a ways to go there, currently running in 16th. However, hanging back like this is not a bad plan. Sticking behind Scott Whiteman there in the 17. Just able to hold back, stay out of issues, stay out of trouble, and move forward. That is the main goal, especially when there's pit stops left. You don't want to get yourself taken out now. It's a pointless endeavor if you just race with no meaning. Uh-oh, into the wall there we see for the 8 of Case. He's going to be falling back through the field. These guys have been able to handle it pretty well so far, all moving down to the center and bottom lane. Very big shakeup, though, for your field. I think a lot of nerves there got touched. However, everybody was able to handle that quite well. Oh, as soon as I say that, wreck there in turn number 1. That is going to be the 77. There are several other cars involved. The yellow has still not flown. We're still green flag, and that is going to be Jason Shermat's absolutely devastated off of turn number 1. Not very good. It looks like Stewart Wright there in the 6 also not helped at all. Gene Watkinson looks like he was able to get through okay. Clinton Chambers, I think, was just scuffed up. However, he does appear to be going a little bit more slowly than he should. However, Bill Shermatz is now going to be fighting for the lead alongside Kevin Bruner. Across the line they go. The 68 still gets it there of Bruner. However, it is going to be a close battle. However, we see Erland there behind the 71. This is his chance. Does he help or hinder? Especially there with that outside line being so weak. That bottom just is going to have more draft, more opportunities to move forward. However, that blinking we're seeing out of John Bennett there in the number 20 Chevrolet is not going to be helping any. Side-by-side still, side-drafting each other between the 71 and the 68, rolling forward. Nothing. I believe that limited damage. He has, collision between the 71 and the 22. Uh-oh. Banging doors again. I think they are not happy with each other. Yes, they keep going there side by side. Heading now through the tri-oval section of the track here at Daytona. Whoa! As they're starting to pull off down pit road. That's going to be Kevin Bruner there. And it looks like it's going to be a battle across the line. 71, I believe, gets it there of Shermatz over Standridge. Oh my goodness. Side-by-side battle still, and Standridge saves it. Shermatz clearly not happy with his position, not just on track, but what's been going on here at Daytona International Speedway in the 71 Tundra. Trying to almost take drivers out, side drafting so hard, he's bumping them. It's not going to be pretty heading forward, because I think there's going to be a few others with a few not so favorable opinions. Almost 3 wide. We're seeing they're heading into turn, turn number 3. 20 of John Bennett almost comes up and takes out the 40 of Nicholas Erland there. As we head now into the exit of 4, several more cars pulling off. That's going to be almost everybody who's staying out. It's going to be Scott Whiteman that chooses to stay out and is going to be able to lead this lap with 0 contention there. Anybody behind John Shermatz has a gap to fill. Looks like that draft is definitely going to be helping him. And it looks like Brad Whiteman and Keith Moyer also staying out to be assisting as much as possible as we see that 60 doing his best. 92 of Brad Whiteman up into 3rd place as your leaders head down through the backstretch. So that's going to be pit stop number 1 on lap number 14. That's going to be cutting it tight. Getting up to lap number 30 is going to be your next pit stop. From there you get up to a fantastical 45. It's going to be definitely a close one for sure. Everybody else comes to pull off. I say that, but no. The 60 of Keith Moyer stays out to keep the lead. He is going to be the only car running now up so high because it looks like, yep, Scott Case is a lap down there in number 8. Interesting position that leaves Keith Moyer in. He has a lot of pace clearly in that truck. The number 60, the fire department of New York sponsored vehicle. So he comes by to pass Clinton Chambers there in the 58. Makes you have to ask the question, is this really the right maneuver to be taking? To be able to stay out for as long as humanly possible by yourself, no less. Because that means he's going to be all by himself as he comes out as well. As it looks like the 8 of Scott Case and Clinton Chambers will race on by. So he has a sizable lead to the next person behind, John Shermatz, who is now going to be exiting there. Well, he was going to be exiting in 2nd. However, Standridge now going to be running in 2nd position, clearly still battling for position between a lot of guys here. 20, the 22, 40, and the 68. So, is Keith Moyer going to be able to get out before the pit happens? Follow along, he's still down pit road, not escaped yet, as they are now going to be passing the entrance of pit road. Christopher Standridge crosses the line, still in 2nd position. I believe he's going to have it. Yep, we see Keith Moyer exiting pit road not going to be good for him. However, that does mean he's on a little bit different of a pit strategy, currently leaving him the person with the most fuel out on track, which means he has the most options when it comes to when he desires to pit, especially when he's able to hit a few more cars that are going to be coming down off of pit road. My apologies as well. That puts Christopher Standridge up into the lead, with Kevin Bruner going to be fighting alongside your top four, going to be battling for position here at Daytona. That leaves Standridge there absolutely drained on the bottom by himself, as it looks like Bruner, Bennett, and Erland all file up to the top. Across the line, it looks like, yep, that is an undecided, nope, that is a fully decided Kevin Bruner going to be taking the lead off of that one. John Bennett as well going to be taking second away. Erland stuck down in fourth position, with John Shermatz closing up and behind there in the Mets 00 to the leaders up ahead. Very interesting race we've had here at Daytona. Thank you very much that has been able to join in so far, and I absolutely have to give a huge thank you to Rockin, Hawkins, Schultz for putting on this week's race as our sponsor. Heading into turn number 3, we see the 68 still has the lead ahead of John Shermatz, John Bennett, Christopher Standridge, and got 2 Johns up there in the 20 and the 00. That won't get confusing at all. As we head into the tri-oval now, we see Bruner still has it. I will say, Shermatz has been able to absolutely keep it pinned there on that outside by himself, no less, in that 00. He's got no help with him. He's been still able to maintain a very fast truck, and he's now going to be able to file in and take second position very decisively there. Head back through your field a little bit. We're going to see who's currently running in 6th. This is the leader of the next pack back. It's going to be the 13. Actually, the 07 and the 13 will be battling here to see who is leading up the second pack between Jason Coffey and Kenneth Passmore. As we see Brad Whiteman there in the 92, along with Les Benz in the 67. The 60 of Keith Moore. Oh, 92 up into the wall. Brad Whiteman not getting help in that Busch Ford. Jeffrey Whiteman leads currently. Bill Shermatz there off of turn number 2 is Scott Case, who we unfortunately saw in the wall earlier on, currently running in 12th position, getting a push from Clinton Chambers in the 13th. No, in the 58th and 13th. Back up to your leaders. They're still running. Oh, 67 there. Jason Shermatz slow on the apron as everybody races on by. Interesting, they did not move to a different position out on track and chose to stay down there. Regardless, leaders clearly have a decent battle going on between them, keeping themselves content with where they are for now. Remember, roughly lap number 30 is when we're going to see these guys pitting in again. I would not be surprised if we see them coming in a little bit earlier. That is to be expected. Down the backstretch here at Daytona, we see that this race has been going pretty well so far. Let's get some information on our drivers here. We'll start with Kevin Bruner there. Let's see. Thank you to Pierce Drivers for giving us our fantastic overlay package. You see our A license, 1500i rating guy from Canada leading this race. Behind him is going to be John Shermatz, as you can see, a fellow New Yorker. Currently started in 10th and is all the way up. That is a very, very good progression out of him there. See, not many official races run. Currently running a D-class license. But as we know with iRacing, that the license and iRating is not really the best indication of skill all the time, especially when it comes to oval racing. As we see, John has been able to be very competitive as of late, and you can see that him running in second there behind Kevin Bruner. John Bennett also behind there in the number 20 from Michigan, it seems. 1300 racing and the 1300i rating, and a rookie last year on the iRacing.com Motorsport Simulation Service. Up 3 spots, so he is doing pretty well. Standridge behind, we can see. Currently has made no progress when it comes to his track position. However, we do know that he has been on a pretty good tear able to lead some laps of this race. As Nicholas Erland currently, I think, trying to throw some interesting blocks there on the 77 behind. Another Michiganer with his A-class or something and 1700 I rating. See the battle for second here. It's a bit closer than some of the other ones. You can see the live gap between the vehicles. You can see just how much it drops heading into the turn, but then it looks like a bit more a steady line is going to be helping Schultz here and there off of the exit of 4, but also throughout just most of the turn. When you're able to stay a bit more steady, it allows you to just keep the car moving faster in a straight line, which is exactly what these guys do want. Just a really big fuel mileage race. However, as they've been fighting, but just really trying to train themselves along, it seems like we have had a very big close-in from the second pack behind. Wow, the speed we're seeing right now out of Kenneth Passmore on that high lane. He is flying. Getting pushed by Les Benz in the 07 there of Jason Coffey. They are on the move. He is gone. Goodbye outside lane. Brad Whiteman bringing up the rear of that lane, pushing these guys along. Goodbye. Whoa! Gets taken out through Daytona. There it is. That's the big one, as the yellow's out and everybody gets involved just about. Uh-oh. Upside down for some of these guys as well. Goodness gracious, what a huge wreck here at Daytona. Unfortunate one at that. We'll be right back, and we're going to take a look and see just what happened there in that massive pileup. Well, when I said fuel mileage race, I kind of meant it, but now especially so. Let's go and resume, and if you can see here, a lot of people are going to be down pit road. It's going to do havoc for the pit strategy here at Daytona. Regardless, we can see that incredibly fast outside lane as they were able to just fly by the leaders. Not entirely sure where all that pace came from, but it suddenly definitely did arise. We follow along with the number 13 of Kenneth Passmore as he goes straight into the lead, runs a pretty consistent middle line. 67 of Les Benz comes down, just gets collected. Go back just a little bit there. We can see once again, we'll try to get a bit of a different angle there. Looks like he just once again comes down, bit of net code, and that just sends the 13 around. Absolutely nothing that can be done by it. Infamous iRacing netcode and some not great, straight line control brought out that massive incident. You can see just everybody gets collected. The 07. See there, wow. 68 of Kevin Bruner also involved there. You can see there on the bottom, the 60. Keith Moyer. Brad Whiteman there in the Busch 92. John Shermatz in the 00 Mets. Oh, man, just absolutely everybody. 20 of John Bennett, I think, might be able to escape through here. Nope, doesn't look like it. Everybody starts just coming down the racetrack. Standridge there, we can see, is very close there in the 22. Slams on the brakes. Doesn't get a lot of damage there, but it's still some. Just unfortunate for these guys. John Bennett, though, seems to get out of that pretty unharmed. Same with the 40 of Nicholas Erland, as he's now going to be leading this race. 77 of Jason Shermatz gets a nice advantage, being able to potentially even come back from that. But yeah, that was our massive pileup here at Daytona. What an event it was. Many cars involved, and that means Nicholas Erland is going to be leading this race, as we're going to be under yellow here at Daytona. As I said, a lot of cars are going to be down pit road, having to get to repairs, but also fuel. As I said, it's going to be a fuel mileage race, but especially so as of now, as they're going to be able to just make it to the finish line if they get fuel this time. One person this does help, though, is going to be Jason Shermatt, so you can see in the 77 Hooters Ford F-150. Being able to get by the iRacing.com pace car is going to be allowing him to come back around and be back on the lead lap. As Kenneth Passmore, who was absolutely devastated in that wreck, having to take his fast repair, we now lap down as well. As you can see, Nicholas Erland going to be there, starting from the front. Historic Daytona International Speedway. It's been in operation for NASCAR for its entire life in the early 1960s. Not too long ago, the Daytona 24 Hours was run here, both in real life and on the iRacing.com service. They had a very interesting sausage curb put on the second turn of the bus stop, or third, depending on how you count it. And that was a killer for a lot of cars out there, including the team I was running in. We did not have a very nice experience with that with a few of our runs. We'll be able to see it next time by, but the new scan here on iRacing has allowed for a few details that are at the actual Daytona International Speedway that we have not seen here on the iRacing service, including just a more updated track texture in general. We can see it looks nicer than it has before. Same with just the overall environment, especially the fencing. Fencing at Daytona has needed a lot of work here on the iRacing.com service, and it finally got it, so the fencing here at Daytona is definitely improved. But just some of the overall track details, including grass, are also better, which is good to see. The service always making continual improvements. One of those big changes is the pace car, which we got a couple seasons ago. The official iRacing.com pace car. No sponsor. Well, no manufacturer, I mean to say. Just a complete iRacing design. All right, we can see as we now pass through the bus stop area, we're heading into turn number 3, where you can see the trademark Montoya stain from 2012, when the track was on fire. You can see as we pass by right there, just the difference in track. Oh, always a funny one, the jet dryer incident. However, we do not get that stuff here on the iRacing.com server, which is good. Well, with that, though, the number 40 of Nicholas Erland is going to be starting from the lead here at Daytona, once again to round out the last laps of our race. The number 22 of Christopher Standridge is going to be alongside here on this next start with John Bennett there on the inside of the second row, and Brad Whiteman in the 92 on the outside. With that, the iRacing.com pace car pulls off, and we hit green flag at Daytona. Pull down there on the 22 to file in behind Erland as Standridge. Yeah, Standridge follows behind Erland there. Looks like Brad Whiteman is having some pace issues there. Does not have the speed. I think he might have some damage. Not going to be helping him. Jeffrey Whiteman, though, in the number 63 Ford F-150 iRacing machine, trying his best now to pull his hat into the ring as John Shermatz pulls along on the outside lane exclusively almost by himself. Looks like he's going to get a little bit of help there from Brad Whiteman. Now on the outside, yep, as you can see, that run the outside lane can occasionally get. It is just massive and always great to see. Just the constant movement that you get here at a track like Daytona. Now, as they head into the trial for the first time under green, once again, Brad Whiteman able to close up that gap under draft a lot. That's going to be helping his pace massively, but he's got to stay out there and hope that he can keep rolling forward if he does have such bad damage. Les Benz leads up that outside lane in the second pack. He's trying to close up. This is really changing up for a lot of people now. Gene Watkinson also back. Oh, yeah, Gene Watkinson also back into this race, which is good to see as well. As it looks like Kenneth Passmore still a lap down. So ready. Clinton Chambers also on the lead lap, 58 there. He has the opportunity to finally start moving forward and making some changes happen. I know that he wants to be fighting up towards the front. He's done it before here with Sterling Sim Racing, as they're almost going to be 3 wide. Brad Whiteman chooses not to push it there, as they're going to remain 2 across the start-finish line. John Shermatz leading up that outside lane still. You can see the speed, you know, competition he has there between himself and Erlin. Getting some nice help there from the 92 of Brad Whiteman. Now, so on to turn number 2 they go. Once then, side by side, they head down. Looks like Bill Shermatz is going to be start making his way through as well. Once again, whoa, Les Benz into the wall, not helping his case. Oh, I hear Rockin behind. Oh, into the wall there. 77, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. Couple of guys taken out in that one. Scott Whiteman able to roll by, I believe. John Bennett involved there in the 20, not going to be helping him at all. Many of these guys absolutely toasted in another wreck, but the green flag remains out, and that means Christopher Standridge is going to be fighting alongside Brad Whiteman for control over this race, as Nicholas Erlin has decided to fall back. Standridge keeps into the lead. He's got Les Benz behind him, though, not for position, as Brad and Jeffrey Whiteman are going to be in second and third. Les Benz moves out of the way to the outside lane. This is where Brad and Jeff have a choice. They choose to stick to the bottom as Les stays to the outside, knowing he's a lap down, or two laps down. As your leaders, your top 3 ride the bottom. It's going to be Shermatz. Nope, Standridge, my apologies. Whiteman. 3 Whitemans out here tonight at Daytona. Definitely an interesting one. Gotta be careful of those cars leaving pit road there, so close to that yellow line. The weaving that we're seeing there out of Jeffrey Whiteman. Nicholas Erlin leading up. Now finally catches back up to your top pack. He's got Clinton Chambers behind, who's finally gotten himself up into 5th position in the number 58 green Chevrolet. You can see him there on the outside. Passes Scott Whiteman, making it 3 wide as they race through. This will be putting Scott Whiteman a lap down. See now they're off of the exit of 4, moving up to the high lane for some of these guys. Les Benz into the wall again. The 67 Pepsi Chevrolet not doing everything he needs to. Uh-oh. Very close once again. Collision between himself and Jeffrey Whiteman. They wreck across in turn number 1. Green flag remains out. Yellow flag flies here at Daytona. A chance to get fuel. Round up this race is Brad Whiteman is going to be your leader off of that. Christopher Standridge did not have it when the yellow came out. Once again, another incident. We're going to go ahead and take a look and review that brought out our yellow. All right, we have your main incident here. Let's go and bring that up and see just what went on here at Daytona. Following along with the number 67 and the 63 here at Daytona. The 67, Les Benz taps the rear end of the 22. Does not help him. Pulls him down. Net codes as well into the 63. They both slide up the track to that outside safer barrier. See Erland and Chambers pulling down to the bottom as fast as they can. However, I don't think it's quite fast enough. No, it is not. You can see Keith Moyer as well, also who is on a move, trying to get himself back unlapped, involved as well. Big collision there between them all. Be having heavy damage for some of these guys. So Les Benz gets through, like, surprisingly unscathed. I think some netcode action helps a lot with that. We see the 71 there. Bill Shermats comes down, gets collected just a little bit, trying to avoid the best he can. Scott Whiteman there. We also see he's the lead car a lap down. Stuck on the outside. I think he escapes. He does. And that does allow everyone else to file through. And that was your main incident. We had one even before that, but we won't be checking back with that one. Where, as I said at the top, it's going to be Brad Whiteman going to be leading this race off of the start with Christopher Standridge alongside. Erland and Shermats also close in with Gene Watkinson running in 5th going down pit road. With that low, let's go ahead and check a nice little conversation with your leader, Brad Whiteman, and see how he is doing. See if we can get him in here with us. We're going to have to join in. We'll join into their chat and see if we can get Brad to talk to us. Brad, you're leading this race. How are you doing?
Hanging on by a thread.
I completely understand that. I mean, what a race you've had these last couple of laps.
I know, it's just been chaos all around me here.
Still, very competitive. You've had your truck today. How does it feel to be up towards the front?
It's a little different on the hard top than it usually is. I usually like to keep it on the dirt, but so far so good today.
That's great to see. You've been doing a great job here at the Rockin' Hawkins Schultz 100. What do you have to say to our audience out there?
Not a whole lot. Thanks for tuning in tonight, and hopefully we'll be up for an exciting finish here.
I'm absolutely sure we will. Thank you much for your time, Brad. I do appreciate it. Good luck.
Yeah, thanks.
Number 92 of Brad Whiteman able to take the lead. Very awesome to see. We see Jeffrey Whiteman there. Number 63. Not entirely sure what's going on there. Currently running in 4th. I think he has to let some cars by, it seems. Yes, I do believe that is what's happening. Scott Whiteman currently the lead car, 1 lap down. Let's see the number 17 Ford F-150. All right, with that, though, the lights on the Iverson.com pace car are off, and it is going to be Brad Whiteman and Christopher Standridge going to be leading your field to the green flag. They can close up to the pace car just a little bit if they get up there, and it's going to be a 92 and 22 starting this race. As you can see on the left-hand side of your screen, it is currently 5 laps to go, meaning it's 4 across the line. A nice, exciting finish we're going to have, as Brad did say. Hopefully we'll be able to get a nice victory lane interview for him. Then again, it is Daytona. You never know what's going to happen here at this kind of chaotic racetrack. Got to give a huge thank you once again, as always, to the sponsors that we get, and that is going to be Rockin' Hawkins Schultz bringing on this week's event. All right. Through turn number 3, they are now going to be starting very soon. Got to give another thank you to Pierce Graphics, who puts together our overlay package. You can find out more information then on their website, which you can access through mine. That is going to be www.forcloak.net. All right, here the Iverson.com pace car pulls off as he heads down pit road, and it's going to be a green flag fly. See Brad Whiteman getting a pretty okay start there on the bottom. Tries to pull away from the 22. That is Christopher Standridge alongside. As they head down now, heading towards the stretch of turn number 1. We'll see a pull down there from John Shermats, hoping to help him out as Clinton Chambers goes out to the outside to put on a very interesting race here at Daytona. Down the backstretch they go. We see Brad Whiteman is still fighting alongside. He's got the pace to do it. Who is going to have the better line, though? As they head through, remember that throughout the turns, you get a better run on the bottom. However, off the exit, that top lane is deadly when it comes in terms of pace. Storm by, though. We can see exactly what I'm talking about. Brad keeps the lead for now, side by side. Standridge has it there off of the exit. You can see him getting it. Whiteman is going to have to put on quite a show to hopefully create a bit of a gap between himself and the leaders. And hopefully Standridge doesn't pull down in front of him, because that is all that's going to be running through his head. However, maintaining a good pace is very impressive that we've seen out of these guys for right now, especially with the shorter line that Standridge has on the outside. Keep that in mind. Christopher Standridge has a shorter line, and yet he is still blazing fast. Whoa, they're wrecking down the backstretch. Caution does not fly. Brad Whiteman keeps the bottom lane going. He saves it, and he's going to keep rolling. He's got a good, great partner behind him now. That is going to be Scott Whiteman and Jeffrey Whiteman behind him. It's going to be a Whiteman train there on the bottom. The 92, the 17, and the 63 all taking it up. Whoa, they're wrecking across the start-finish line. Yellow flag flies, and Brad Whiteman has the lead. And yet still, Christopher Standridge alongside. Did Standridge get it off of that? I don't think he did, but he might have. Oh, he did. Christopher Standridge is going to have the bottom on this extra restart. Paul just had to sneeze there. Actually, no, Brad Whiteman did have it. The 92. Pace car pulls up through, of course. I'm going to scare everybody. 3 laps to go. Green-white checker brings out the extended yellow we're going to be having. In terms of fuel, that must be a terrifying thing to see, because you might just be short. And if so, then these guys are going to be in for one heck of a race to the finish to see who runs out first. Whoever doesn't is probably going to end up with the win. Jeffrey Whiteman running in 3rd position. As you can see in that number 63 iRacing Ford F-150. He's got 2 lapped cars in front of him. That's going to be Jason Shermatz and Scott Whiteman, with Jason being 2 laps down. See that number 17 Woodback Auto Parts and the Hawk on the hood rolling forward. There it is. Updates once again. It's definitely going to be 3 to go on our next start, but it's going to be a little bit before we get there here at Daytona. Quite a long stretch under yellow. Several guys go into pit, especially Nicholas Erland, as we're seeing there. Can only imagine what's going through Christopher Standridge's head right now. He's got Brad Whiteman alongside, who's got a Whiteman train with him. Got to see who is going to be making it to the end of this race. Scott Whiteman appears to be able to go by, gets the lucky dog, bringing himself back onto the lead lap. Going to be starting from the rear, though, so he's got quite the ways to go starting from the rear. Jeffrey Whiteman there, starting 3rd. He's got Clinton Chambers going to be alongside there in the number 58. As I said, Clinton is one of those guys you like to see heading towards the top. And it's been a while since we've seen him up there. He was running so far back in this race for a lot of it. But he's finally up here once again, ready to make a show. It's great to see the number 58 back up here once again. Gene Watkinson, an unknown here in the Stirling Sim Racing, as far as I know. At least I have not seen him on the broadcast yet. He's bringing up there with this Pepsi 111. Going to be making this race interesting as a nice wild card factor. John Shermatz went down pit road. He's got plenty of fuel, a fresh truck. That 00 Mets, New York Mets, is going to be ready to roll forward. Not the Syracuse Mets. Don't mistake them. Don't ask why they have the same name. I can't give you an answer. As we can see, the 40 of Nicholas Erland is going to be starting behind him in 7th. And that's going to be where Scott Whiteman ends up as well there in 8th behind them. See Jason Shermatz there in 12th in the number 77, with Les Benz in the 67 behind. Bill Shermatz in the 71, still down in pit road. Some unfortunate incidents. Hopefully Keith Moore can also make it out as well. With that, though, the lights on the Iverson.com pace car are off here at Daytona International Speedway. It's going to be Brad Whiteman leading the field to the green flag as they head down the historic backstretch at Daytona. A potential first win here in the Stirling Sim Racing Series for Brad Whiteman with Christopher Standridge alongside. Can they do it? That's the question. These guys can close up to the pace car just a little bit now if they want. Brad has got help behind. That is in the form of Jeffrey and potentially even Scott, who's just a, well, I say a hair, but he is a bit further back. Currently running an 8th. He's got quite a ways to go to get back up to the leaders. However, I know Scott can do it, and it's not too much of this race left to go. Close fuel mileage race at that. The Iverson.com pace car is going to be pulling off now as we head into the tri-oval, and it's green flag here at Daytona. Bit of a struggling start there for Clinton Chambers as Brad Whiteman gets one heck of a launch there on the bottom. Potentially he's thinking about moving up. You can see it there in his driving. Side draft there, the 63 there. Onto Standridge. Clinton Chambers, though, right behind him. Jeffrey Whiteman hoping to force him up just that little bit there as John Shermatz closes in on the bottom, running in 5th. He might be able to get 4th here very shortly soon. Now's the time to block. If he's going to do it, it's going to be close there. Standridge has the pace going down the backstretch. You can see it. Look at that outside fly. Clinton Chambers pushes ahead. That's going to be Standridge to the lead. He's almost clear. He is clear, and he's going to be pulling down to block Brad Whiteman. Christopher Standridge has the lead with Clinton Chambers running in 3rd. Oh, they door off of turn number 4. It's going to be a very close race to the finish. John Shermatz goes down to the bottom. All right, Brad Whiteman across the line is going to be leading us on our final lap. Who is going to be able to get this race? It's Jeffrey Whiteman. The Whiteman train once again. Between the two, we see Scott hoping to close in there in the 17. Can they get it as Standridge has the pace off of the top once again down the backstretch of the 77. Very close there. Not going to be able to. He takes out Whiteman almost. Whiteman closes up to make it 3 wide. They're going to collect each other. Actually, no, really just Jeffrey gets taken out. Whoa, 77 takes out the 67 now as they slow down. What's Brad Whiteman doing? He might be out of gas as Scott Whiteman. Oh, the Whitemans collide, and now it's a race to the finish between Christopher Standridge and Clinton Chambers. Clinton's got a bit of a run in the draft. Looking to the outside. Can he do it? He does. He has the pace, and Clinton Chambers wins at Daytona. Christopher Standridge, I believe, that pace looks to have run out of fuel. The 58 wins here in the Stirling Sim Racing Series once again in that infamous green Chevrolet. What a performance out of Clinton Chambers, able to come at it right at the right time towards the end. He had not been running up front nearly all day, and he finally comes at it towards the end to secure himself the win in 3rd place. He actually goes to Scott Whiteman there in the 17, who went down pit road. Himself that podium I know he oh so wanted. Looks like Chambers disconnects before we get the opportunity to see some burnouts. Hope we will see him out of somebody. Scott comes to a halt. Nope. All right, we're... Oh, there we go. We got some burnouts there from Nicholas Erland. Let's go ahead and see that if we can. There we go. He's celebrating, able to finish up this race in the top 10. Gene Watkinson in his first start, at least on broadcast, finishes in 4th there in the 111 Pepsi machine. Wow, what an event we had, especially towards the end. What a show indeed. A great job done by all of our drivers out here in the Stirling Sim Racing field. I am certainly impressed by the performance we were able to see. Some fascinating wrecks we got to see as well, making it interesting as always. But wow, that finish towards the end, I did not know who was going to get it, and that running out of fuel for Christopher Standridge on the last lap out of 4 is heartbreaking. I can only imagine how he feels there in that 22 as Clinton Chambers was able to come across the line and secure himself the win. Fortunately, I don't really get the opportunity to interview drivers too often, so we're going to take the opportunity and interview Scott and see how he's doing. Scott,
Fuckers.
Scott, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Noah.
Able to finish in third position. How does it feel?
It feels pretty good. I think I started pretty well near the back on that restart, but I got some awesome runs coming up through and some bad luck by the drivers ahead of me, and I guess that's Daytona, so.
Well, we certainly had a Daytona level finish with several drivers running out of fuel, but you even starting from the back on the last restart coming out to finish on the podium position. What a run.
Yeah, no, it was a good race. Like I said, there had to be some bad luck ahead of me to get up there, but I'll take it. I had a couple mishaps in the pits, and that kind of put me put me back a lap. So anyways, no, it was a lot of fun.
For sure. What do you have to say to our audience out there?
Well, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for Rockin, Hawkins, Schultz sponsoring this race tonight. That's great. Again, thanks Noah for doing the great broadcasting, and also a big shout out to Bill Shermatz, the senior circuit, allowing us to include his group in this series of races. So hopefully we get a good turnout again next Saturday night.
All right. Thank you much for your time, Scott. I do appreciate it, and congratulations on the third place finish.
Thanks, Noah.
A third place finish for Scott Whiteman allows him to get some nice credit out there, which is always great to see. And we round out our broadcast here on twitch.tv/4o'clock. Thank you very much for tuning in. Absolutely, everybody. I do appreciate it. And as Scott said, a huge thank you has to go out to Rockin, Hawkins, Schultz for putting on this week's race as the sponsor. Great appreciation goes out to them. Also got to thank Pierce Graphics for putting together our overlay package that we get to use every single week, not only here for the senior circuit and Stirling Sim Racing, but also for CASCAR and our other groups as well. And that's going to be it. You can check out my stuff over on the website. That's going to be www.4cloak.net. We're over on Instagram as well. That's at 4cloak_media. And you can expect an update on this, not only on the Twitch, but also on YouTube shortly as well. Thank you much for tuning in once again. I certainly do appreciate it, as does everyone out there. And we'll be seeing you next time. Have a good one.